Mecklenburg, or I'll just call her Mech because she doesn't seem meek, strongest anti-heavy BB. Usually I would tell you to read the data mine first, but it has a lot of translation errors. If the wiki is ready, then use the wiki. If you're watching this early, then note that the data mine has at least 3 errors for Mech that overrate her effectiveness. My video though is based on hopefully correct information. Mech prefers another Ironblood main fleet ship, and she also prefers a good black hole. Conveniently, Bismarck's Phi satisfies both of those conditions. Although they're not really conditions, they're just bonuses. So using Bismarck's Phi would give Mech 15% reload from the KMS thing, and also 5% fleet damage for 8 seconds, plus 15% firepower for Mech from the black hole and Bismarck's Phi. The highlight is she's the highest damage BB against heavy, although Lion has a permanent 10% fleet bonus while Mech only has a 5% to 10% time bonus. Usually you would use both, but if only one slot is available, then Lion is probably better. And Mech is decent against medium, so if you're already using Lion and Bis, then add Mech. If Bis is not needed, then Alsace or Soyuz buff Lion better than Mech does. But Soyuz Nahimov is usually better than triple BB against medium because you can just spam LA9s. BBs can't really compete with only one rainbow sap gun. Against light, Mech is unimpressive, but she's still a rainbow BB, like in the bottom half of rainbow BBs perhaps. For mobbing, she's just like average UR BB, not standout like Raffaello or Musashi. And 15% Siren Killer will occasionally be relevant against, obviously, Siren bosses, and I think that would put her better than Lion, even considering Lion's permanent 10% fleet bonus, if the Siren Killer does activate. Personal damage wise, against the 3 armor types, assuming each battleship is using the best available gun. This is a calculation for Mech when she's being buffed by Bis, while the other BBs are solo, so like Lion is solo and Bismarck's Phi is solo, she's not being buffed by Mech either. So against light, she's Bismarck level, and that is quite impressive, but the problem is that she doesn't buff Lion as well as Alsace or Soyuz does. And against medium, she's gonna be overtaking Lion when being buffed by Bis, and against heavy, it's just like no competition. And I also added the reload times to give you an idea of how fast each of the ships are. The reload time does include Lion and Mech having the storage for 2 salvos, which makes them faster. Here in the middle is the tentative rating for Mech. Congratulations to Anonymous Turtle and 3 other Anonymouses for making it into the video. So for the tiers, I kind of just copied Lion and then dropped Meta and CM, because Lion is just like way more flexible and also does more damage against medium and light. For campaign, of course, Musashi is better and Raffaello is better for mobbing. And damage wise, Mech is gonna be the first BB to reach a 6 in damage, in heavy damage. She's a bit weaker in light, so only a 4. At the time of this video, the medium damage column does not include Raffaello gun yet, the rainbow sap gun. So if I update it to assume that BBs are using the sap gun, then a lot of these will become 6s. Fourth, if you're a new player, then you can basically forget about using Mech because it'll take quite a while for you to get her to Dev 30, like maybe 5 or 6 months at least for a new player. For endgame players, you probably don't have anything better to do than rushing PRs or rushing the PR gear, and she has decent tech, 2 BB firepower, and she's gonna be meta for heavy and sometimes medium bosses. Here's an example fleet and gear. So top fleet is anti-heavy and bottom fleet is anti-medium. Tank is Z52 or any other tank. She's kind of taking it and also has decent buffs and everything. For the heavy fleet, Mech is in the flagship, the middle position, to get Plymouth's buff, and also Trafalgar, because Mech is going to be the fastest one, so her firing first will allow Trafalgar to apply the evasion rate debuff first. But for medium, Lion is going to do more damage. Even though a few slides back, I had Mech being buffed by Bis doing more damage than Lion, but that's with Lion solo, and here Lion is gonna have 10% firepower from Trafalgar as well, and Mega buff her with Plymouth as well. So not really any hidden stats, but there are interesting things. One small thing is that the 5% base debuff and 5% for the additional suck are actually multiplicative, so you get 10.25% instead of just 10%. And like Lion and Alsace, Mech can hold 2 salvos, so she bypasses BB absolute cooldown and won't get screwed by boss movement. Basically, it makes her faster than other battleships by like 0.2 seconds per salvo. And she has the highest firepower of all BBs by far, but suffers from low hit and 0 luck. So her base firepower is 539, and second place was Musashi at 479, so huge difference. So the left barrage is kind of ugly with the sprites, but the bomb actually drops 2 times, so you might be able to see a flash of green in the middle, and that hits twice. For the other barrage, it's just 8 AP shells, and that's it. It might take until Friday or Saturday for me to get the other PR8 ships worked out, and then I'll also do Shokaku's augment, perhaps, and also the gear.